story. You know, these are times that time and souls, according to Thomas Paine, one of America's founding fathers. Tuesday's explosion in Ibadan is another testament to the fact that we hardly learned from history. We have been there before. The Oyo State government has said that the number of fatalities has risen to 5, even as rescue operations are still ongoing. Stern-looking soldiers have reportedly taken over the scene at Bodija, Ibadan, where 58 houses have been damaged and some 77 residents wounded. Crazy times. Avoidable. That was avoidable, if you ask me.
Very avoidable. But
because when the stories started flying in that explosions were, seismic conditions were being noticed at Ibadan, it sent different messages to me.
Yeah, it should. But for those of us who had the opportunity of staying for some years in Ibadan, getting the right picture wasn't so difficult.
Okay. It happened before?
No. Even if it's not at this magnitude, we've always known that there are those foreigners who are illegal miners. If you go to Ibadan and you use the language Anwolukuta, that's what they call them.
That's stone people.
Not stone. Those they refer to the miners as
Okay.
Anwolukuta.
Okay.
Quarry people.
The quarry people. Yeah.
They refer to them as Olokuta. Where they started from largely were 2 settlements close to the University of Ibadan. You have Orogun and you have Ojo areas. But after a while, when it became...
See what we're having in the...
Yeah. When it became hot for them in that area, they started moving, especially when those who were foreigners with the funding capacity got into the business. They started moving into the areas of the rich. Because when you are talking of the areas of the rich, you talk about Bodija. That was where it started before they went into places like Ikolaba, to Yagoku and started having GREs. That was where it started. If you were in Ibadan in the 80s, late 70s and 80s, if once you live in Bodija, you are top notch. So that's how they started moving in there. So when it happened, and I made a few calls that night, somebody told me, I'm Olokutani.
Okay. He's a quarryman.
The people who do illegal mining and looking for precious stones. It's not just the quarry itself. Precious stones. That's what they call them.
Do we know this?
Do we?
No, the mining is illegal?
They know.
Of course.
Even the governor said it. They know, but the challenge is who checks it? Then we
didn't know.
No, it's not as if we didn't know. They know that these things are happening, including those who are in government. When you go and look at those that they are looking for, you have Malians there, and you have other people with names tending towards Arab.
3 or 4 names there.
Yes,
you know.
they're Arabs. So that's why they came in. Those close to them, who live close to them, I think they also must have suspected something was going to happen. They left the house days before it happened. Nobody was in that house, that particular house, where they were using as a twin duplex. In fact, from the reports today, the man who rented the house on their behalf is an Okada man. He rides Okada in that area. So it was the front they used in getting the house. And then you are doing that business there. So it shows and goes a long way to still tell us that we have a lot of people who enter into our country with ulterior motives. And we are still unable to check them.
Kunle, I'm wondering, if you were a #1 citizen, what would you have done?
Well,
You are giving me a big post.
Okay.
A big task, that.
Okay.
And a big task.
If you were a security chief, what would you have done?
No, let me go by the big.
I'll take the #1 position.
Yes, whatever is going to cost me, I'll make sure we have a national database. How many are Nigerians? How many are, foreigners? Nigeria of today, with the benefit of technology that we have, we don't know anywhere. There is no governor that can tell me how many people he governs. The president of Nigeria cannot tell me how many Nigerians he presides over. He doesn't know. The police, IG, the army, all of them go on. To tell you of no, it's impossible. So there is no KBC that can tell you how many people live under his domain. It's not possible. There is no local government chairman. There is no governor that can say it. Nobody. So we need to do it. Whatever is going to take. We have been talking about this for long. So if you enter many countries now, by the time you settle down, before you go to your hotel or anywhere you want to settle down, you see, messages coming to your phone. Welcome to so. That is, the system notices
that you are in town.
That somebody enters into their territory. We don't have that in Nigeria. It may be a big
in
task.
that regard, we are a long way from home.
We are living in a jungle. Nigeria is a jungle. And we need to turn it.
We are still in the Stone Age. That's what they call this.
Nigeria as a country, we are living in a jungle. We are just lucky that God loves us. There are so many things. Sometimes when I look at my country, I shake that God, why? We need to have a national database. Don't you get worried that you want to do for passport, they are saying bring this, you want to do your driver license, this one is disturbing you, this one is. You have how many agencies of government
requesting for the same,
and they cannot harmonize this. At a time in Nigeria, we want to do election. You see the madness that we do, how much we shut down our entire system because we want to do election. Whereas the same country, you have banks that give you ATM, you have this, you have a national ID card, you have NIA, you have all of this. Within the comfort of your home, please, you can vote. We don't need INEC to do the same way to elaborate. We can do it. Believe me.
So whatever we're doing with, hold on, whatever we're doing with and to our country is by choice.
Of course, all the problems we're having, all the bad governance, all the short changing that is taking place
are by choice.
By choice, yeah.
If we all decide today with
what a choice,
sincerity, determination, and patriotism, that let's infuse. Are you still surprised that corruption is taking place at every level of government in Nigeria? You are surprised?
I'm not.
It's because certain things you need to put in place are not there. You need to reform this financial sector.
Hold on. Will we ever recover?
We can, if we choose to. You need to reform the banking sector. You need to reform the police sector, the judicial sector.
Let's say the civil service.
By the time
or public service.
When we digitize everything, I will know how much. I may not know how much Dotun is worth, but we can make some guess. So if he's spending beyond, what we expect, we can call the attention. We don't even need to call the security. They can go after him. In Nigeria, somebody will just bring up a billionaire.
Yeah, overnight. Dotun, can we say in all honesty that the Ibadan debacle won't happen again?
No. How do you say it won't happen again? Those guys who left that twin duplex, they are still somewhere. And there are many more of them. Because those are not the only people in Ibadan or in Nigeria into illegal mining. We've shown pictures.
In Ilesha,
even all over the southwest. Ilesha, you have mentioned it. Ondo is there. A lot of all these illegal mining. They are looking for precious stones. We've seen pictures here a lot of times on what is happening in Sokoto, where people are doing illegal mining. And
in Zamfara.
In Zamfara, it's happening. So if we think that it is going to go away without very decisive action, very we'll be in this forever. Because I can feel the pains of somebody like the senior advocate of Nigeria, Niyi Akintola, who said he has lost a whole hotel which he uses to get some income. That man sweated for it. Or how do you explain it? A former deputy governor of your state, no home now because he has only that house.
But the house would have been insured, don't you think?
Even with insurance, how much of insurance do Nigerians do? When you do it, what is the response rate? It's that bad. So the best thing is for us not to have calamities. And thank God we don't have natural disasters.
So we are bringing disasters. How can you not have calamities?
We are bringing disasters. We are the ones bringing it on ourselves. We are the ones.
Yusuf, our reaction to emergencies.
War.
Yeah.
War. We don't even have it. We don't have it. And when we talk about emergencies, women like first. Who does that? You see Nigerians bringing out their phone and be recording. Recording.
Rather than
instead of,
basic help, the basic.
There are some people you can assist. Nigerians are not concerned about those.
Yeah, just be the first.
They will pick their phone and be recording and be laughing. You will see road accidents, people that require some
emergency,
people say
first aid and so on.
So, as a country, okay, tell me the number you can call.
If there's any, we have lost it.
Whereas in other climes, there's a number you can call.
But I think in the case of your states, we should give them kudos on this. What I saw that night, when it happened, were calculated misinformation. People were given so many versions of what happened. But the fire service, which was closest to that point, was fast in reaching out. But they also needed to be careful because you don't know what is on ground. So that you are not the only one going in there. You need an explosive ordnance unit to help you, which I think was what happened. They needed to, but they went in because maybe about 30 minutes, nobody could even say this was the location. Because when that thing happened, I had a couple of friends around the area. Nobody could say this was where it came from. Because it was so loud that it traveled and destroyed places as far as 4 or 5 kilometers.
Yeah, but before I forget it,
yes.
An hotel's operations manager, we're told, lost his life and so on.
Yeah. It was in shock.
Sad. Yeah.
It's sad. That's like I said in the case of Chief Niyi Akintola. Yeah. If he wasn't a man of courage, he could have died. Because, in this Lagos, especially in this Lagos, you have some retired people whose only source of income will be the buildings that they have on ground. If this man was depending completely on this and doesn't have children he would have died. Look at the former deputy governor. He came out and said I don't have a home over my head. So what the government has done is to provide them temporary shelter. Go to this hotel, go to that hotel. Let's even verify that area is safe. Because if one is not careful, look at what happened at the cantonment here in Lagos.
Oh, yeah.
Where for days, bombs were going off. So there is a need.
Again, avoidably.
Yes, avoidably. Because that ought to have been evacuated, like we were told.
Yeah.
Long before it went up. So, if in terms of they are attending to to those who are injured and the rest, I think commendably we can say the Oyo State government.
All right. I think we must pack it all
because
in here.
They responded fast enough, and we can see the effect. Because if the sound was that loud and destroyed so many buildings, and so far what we've had will be 5, which is unfortunate in the first place, then the government has done well.
The everyday man on the street would have thought this is Armageddon.
Yeah.
Yes, but the government must go to the root of the matter.
Exactly.
People must face music over this.
These people must not escape from this
Yes.
country. They must not.
They should use this as an opportunity to reform the way we do this kind of illegal
Because we can.
We
We can.
We can.
We
And
can.
we're- and
and
don't forget-
and not unfortunately anyway, people in government are aware of all
A lot of
this.
this.
Okay.
Don't forget, we're also losing money.
Okay, then. This is where we apply the brakes. Jide Otitoju is unavoidably out of town, so he should be here in 1-2 days, so not to worry. But on behalf of the Backroom Boys and everybody that made it happen, that will just about do it for the program today. Watch a repeat broadcast of this particular episode tonight at 11. If you missed that, on Sunday, we have the 2-hour stretch for you from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. We are also on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I am Citizen Jones Hussein. Bye-bye now. Take care.